this press conference with a thank you to John Fox.
But they are who we thought they were, and we let them off the hook.
What are we talking about? Practice? We're talking about practice, man.
Hello? You play to win the game. You don't play to just play it.
Come after me! I'm a man! I'm 40!
You're listening to Rochester, Indiana's #1 podcast, the Tan and J-Man Show, featuring Josh Munt and Tanner Lee.
You're listening to episode 98 of the Tan and J-Man Show, sponsored by Fraunfelder Dental Clinic, Great Family Owned Dental Clinic, Dolphins Laser Whitening and Dentistry, along with braces, implants, and your typical teeth cleanings. Go see Dr. Bill or Dr. DJ today for all your dental needs. Like them on Facebook and check out their website, stateoftheartsmile.com. What's going on, J-Man?
What's up?
It looks like you've had better days.
I've had a better week.
Better week?
Better weeks, yeah.
Better weekend, at least, when it refers to sports. But
Yep.
we got two guests in studio with us today. Kyle McLochlin and Joe Murphy, both running for school board. How's it going, guys?
It's going good. Thanks for having us.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming on, and we'll get talking a little school board here in a bit, but I think Josh has a little trivia for us.
I do. Birdie, Bogey, sponsored as always by the Noble Gnome LLC. You have a spiel I do not have, so you can say the spiel.
Noble Gnome's a local market, fresh, organic garden owned by my cousin Bryce Romine and his wife Katie Romine. They've been going to the Kosciuszko County farmers markets every weekend. They sell tons of produce, and he just got his greenhouses up, or at least one of them, over the weekend. So like him on Facebook and follow him on Instagram, and they grow about everything.
Mets third baseman David Wright played the final game of his career on Saturday night. He is the 5th third baseman in baseball history with at least 200 homers and 150 steals in his career. 3 of the other 4 are in the Hall of Fame. Just name the last one to do it. Because there's one guy, Howard Johnson. You know Howard Johnson. He played for the Mets. He's one of them. The other 2 I think you can get, or the other 3 I think you can get, but just name the last one. I'm not going to give you a year because I think it'll give it away.
Well, I got 2 other guys that have guesses too, so we can guess later on in the podcast.
Max had better days too.
Yes, but at least he did have one of his teams win over the weekend.
Yeah.
The Irish shaved me, but I'm not talking about the Cubs. I'm done.
You're done?
I'm still happy from 2016. I don't care what happens. Ever again.
That's fair enough.
My happiness ended like November 3rd, 2016, the day after, and then it's kind of on to the next year.
Yeah, he's already talking. He's looking forward to the offseason. Yeah. And you still have a chance.
Bryce Harper, book it.
No.
You don't love Harper.
No.
We'll get into that a bit. But first, both of you guys are running for school board, which is very exciting. Congratulations on that. Got an upcoming debate coming up on Wednesday night at the high school. What time does that start?
6:30.
6:30.
Yeah.
And will it be on Channel 4?
I don't know that it'll be live from what we've been told, but it will be recorded.
Eventually. So, okay, I guess first off, Joe, what is your motivation or inspiration for running for school board?
Yeah, so I'm a commercial loan officer. Just to give you a little background on myself, I have a wife who's a teacher at Columbia. I've got a son, Owen, will be 4 in November, and just thinking about how to get more involved in the community and kind of give back to the community. I thought that this would be a good thing to do. With my financial expertise as a commercial loan officer, I'm looking at financial statements and profit and loss sheets day in and day out, and I thought, if that can add some value to the school board to make sure that we're spending the money the way that we should, and we're getting the best that we can for the staff and for the students, I thought that would be a very good thing to do. With my kid coming up, I do have a vested interest to make sure that the schools are offering the best things that they can, and that's kind of my story, I guess.
And you come from a different school corporation.
I do, yeah. So I went to Tippecanoe Valley High School, graduated in 2006, and went to Ball State University. I got a bachelor's in marketing from Ball State University, and moved back to Rochester, where my wife Kristen is from. Spent a lot of time in my younger years in Rochester, being from Akron, so I am a Fulton County native. But I just want to make sure that every kid, doesn't matter if they're college bound or not college bound, they get everything that they need, because let's face it, the kids are the future. So we need to do what we can to provide the best for them in education.
And Kyle, same question goes for you. What's your motivation or inspiration for running for school board?
Yeah, absolutely. I as well, my wife is a fourth grade teacher. I have a son, Mason, who's in kindergarten, and another boy, Maddox, who will be 3 here in about 19 days. As far as looking at the school board, there's many different ways you can impact into what I consider the greatest gift we give our children, and that is an education. Some choose the teacher route, some choose to be administrator. I chose a career at Farm Bureau, which is where I have worked since out of college. But school board is an option for me as far as impacting kids with making decisions, assisting as the on the board is just assisting every day, whatever is needed to help the administration, the teachers, the kids achieve that goal. I'm very I guess the biggest thing is I am a 2001 graduate of Rochester. I want to give back to the community that gave to me. I think it's a fantastic way in the utmost community give back is being on the school board. I look forward to, as a candidate, I look forward to helping, assisting, and overall, I cannot, preach this enough, but we need people from our community to buy into our schools and overall everything within the community, and I'd like to see the community more involved with the school as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And one thing I've noticed is I grew up in the Rochester school system. I've been a Rochester native. I still live here, of course. I think we have a good school system, but frankly, at least from what I hear from people, a lot of people don't feel that way.
Oh, I think we have a really good school system. We do. I mean, there's a lot of good there. Like Joe said, I think me and Joe together bring youth to the board. I don't think there's ever been, as far as looking at a guy, I think Joe's 30, I'm 35. I don't know looking back on the board, but just previously, I don't think there's ever been anybody with that age range to be able to come in with private business practice as we have, me in the insurance field, him in the banking field, and come to the school board with, youth, energy, a vested interest, understanding that our kids are physically going through the system now. They're not done or been out of school, and our wives are in the school corporation. So, to say that there's not good, and I can't say that. I think there's a lot of good. I think we all think there's stuff that needs tweaked here or there. That, anybody that runs for a political office has their own ideas and perceptions of what you can do, but we're just adding to the formula to make Rochester even better than what it is.
Yeah, and I agree, and I want to also just repeat that I do think we have a good school system. I know a lot of people, from what I've heard, have the misconception that it isn't, so that's why
there's definitely, and I think Kyle would agree with that, there's definitely some different areas that maybe could be improved. We're a one-to-one school. We've got the iPads and the MacBooks, and to keep up with the times, it is 2018, and education's ever changing, and to keep up with that, I think Kyle and I can bring some new ideas on how we can adapt to the technology. So,
what's been good about this? Sorry to cut in, but what's also been good about this? Meeting the other candidates. I've known Joe before being a candidate, but I will say this about all candidates. Everybody running has a vested interest as far as they want to make our kids the best they can be. Nobody runs for school board unless they truly feel that way, and that's awesome. Our community, that is awesome. What the difference is between some of the candidates is I truly feel I would be a candidate on that school board for all the kids. I'm not there for a select few or a certain individual. I'm there for everybody, and that's from the top to the bottom. And that is a big deal to me because when you choose to be on a board, you're choosing to represent everybody as a whole and not just a select few.
Absolutely. I think that's very well said. I think in the voter's mind, that's what you have to want. At least I would think so. I mean, as a voter myself, that's what I'm looking for. I can tell you that right now. Where can people get more information about your campaigns or any social media pages, anything like that?
Yeah, so I mean, I have a Facebook page out there, Joe Murphy for Rochester School Board. It's kind of got a statement that I made, kind of describing why I'm running. You can reach out to me via email and phone, and that's on that Facebook page as well. I'm open anytime to answer any questions or concerns or anything like that. So, yeah, that's the easiest way to reach me.
I as well have a Facebook page. I am new to the Facebook world.
Welcome.
But I do have a Facebook page. I would be glad to give out my phone number. I'll tell you my home phone is 574-224-CUBS. Yeah, I'm changing that too. But right now it's 224-CUBS. I have an office line of 574-269-3152. And I mean this. I'm not giving my number out just to give it out. I want feedback. I want people calling me and letting me know, whether it's good or bad, what we can do to improve and get better. And you guys are a sports show, and this is a sports analogy. I don't care if you're the best team or the worst team, you've always got to get better. You can never settle to just be okay. Always get better. That goes for the school board and our school as well.
You can't do what you've always done and expect different results.
Exactly.
So,
I think that's called insanity by Albert Einstein.
You're right. Exactly. See, I saw that quote the other day, and I really liked it. So, any other closing remarks as far as school?
No, I would just encourage everybody to at least go out and vote. I mean, it's a privilege as a American to be able to go out and vote, and it is important. Your vote does count, even as something as what some people may think as small as a school board. So yeah, I would just encourage everybody to go vote and reach out. Like Kyle said, we're definitely open to. I think every candidate's open to conversations and feedback and suggestions. So I mean, if you have those, definitely reach out.
Absolutely, yeah, I'm available, and ultimately, I encourage everyone to vote as well. I obviously would very much appreciate the vote. I would appreciate being able to represent, the school board and be on the school board as a elected official, and I will work tirelessly to see that everybody that I've talked to, I'm promised them that I will do my due diligence to make sure that Rochester kids are being given everything they can be given.
Well, I can tell you guys this. Both of you guys have my support, 100%, and our show support. I mean, not only can you reach these guys via their Facebook page, you can find stuff about them on our Facebook page coming up soon, our Twitter, and our Instagram. So.
Thank you.
We appreciate it. Yeah, thanks for having us.
Thanks for taking the time to come on and speak to us, and we appreciate that you're going to stick around and talk some sports.
Yeah,
absolutely.
First off, I want to get into a little local sports. Kyle, you're one of the voice of the Rochester Zebra football team. Rough game on Friday night, losing to the Vikings. Good game, really, but a rough game from a Zebra standpoint, maybe not from a Viking standpoint.
I was still rooting for the Zebras.
Yeah, just a few thoughts on the game and really the season as a whole so far.
Yeah, I mean, we do got a good football squad. I mean, when you look at them, and I've watched them every week, had the privilege of calling the games every week, we are good. The growth potential is still there. That team is still trying to find a way to get better every week. And unfortunately, when you're 3-0 and 4-0, you can kind of start looking at yourself saying, man, we're really good. And sometimes that's a product of either playing good or scheduling, or, there's a lot of factors involved there. But the Northfield game woke me up from my point of view, and I said, man, we've got a lot of things to clean up as we play good competition. I'll go back to the Knox game. That kind of gave me some misinformation because we put that drive together and beat them at the end of the game, and that was a very good Knox team. I believe they're 6-1, 5-1.
They gave Pioneer a pretty competitive game for a while.
Yeah, and they are good. But Rochester, I mean, ultimately, you don't look at the beginning, you don't look at the middle, you look at the end. They need to clean some things up right now. Valley exposed a lot of weaknesses One is energy. You cannot show up and expect to have lapses of 2 or 3 minutes here or there with no energy and walk out as a winner. That's hard to do, and including in the bell game. Our sectional is loaded. I mean loaded. You've got Eastbrook, Rensselaer, Delphi, and I'm missing another good squad in there, but it's just...
Rensselaer, did you say that?
Yeah, Rensselaer's in there, and their record's misleading because they've played all the Lafayette schools. Yeah. Oh, Oak Hill's the other school. Yeah. Oak Hill's 1-5, and I'm like, that's not good. Then I look and see they've been beat by, number 6 rank Eastbrook in 2A, number 7 rank, or I don't know the rank of Mississinawa in 4A. Yeah. Been beat by Greentown, Eastern. They're 6-0 out of Kokomo. And this is all our section. I'm thinking, man, this is going to be unbelievable. But, yeah, Rochester's got, we've got the skill players. I mean, you've got unbelievable quarterback playing Brady Perez. You've got 4 to 5 running backs, 5-headed monster that you can't prepare for. We don't have a passing game. And that is worrisome because teams can, put the 8th or 9th man in the box and say, okay, throw to beat us. Well, we can't do it right now. Wilson Dalton is a huge key. You've got to find a way to get him involved. The guy he's a freak. He's a physical freak on the field. I watch him on the defensive line, and he's hitting some boys, and it's like, I'm glad I'm up here in the booth. But, yeah, Rochester, they're still a good squad. It's one loss. You've got to let it go, but you've got to come back, regroup, and clean some things up.
They got to bounce back against Manchester this week.
Absolutely. You ultimately can be playing for a conference championship if you win this week. They're probably going to be playing Southwood or McConaughey. That's the game of the week, by the way.
Yeah, Southwood's ranked 3rd, I believe, in 1A.
Yeah, yes,
3rd
yes.
Or 4th, so.
And they're another team that beat Oak Hill, Southwood.
They always have a good squad.
They do,
They just have a good program. But thanks for hitting on that. We always like to talk a little local sports. Mm-hmm. And good luck to all the rest of the fall sports going on. I know the boys soccer team, I think, is in the sectional tonight against CMA. It's probably going on or maybe even over.
We're losing last time I saw.
Were they losing? Yeah. And then the volleyball's at Valley tonight, and they have a sectional coming up. It's exciting things going on in the Rochester world of sports. But, before we'll get into some football, but we got to talk a little postseason baseball. I'm not hitting on what happened earlier today with the Brewers beating the Cubs 3-1. And it looks like the Dodgers are going to knock the Rockies off, which makes the Rockies have to travel to Wrigley tomorrow for a winner-go-home wildcard game.
Yeah. I was not prepared. Well, I obviously was prepared to talk about it.
The Rockies are down 5-2, top of the 9th, 1 out.
Coming back. They were down 5-0. I wasn't able to watch the game, which is probably good because I'm not feeling as bad as I probably would be if I had watched it. Cubs just aren't hitting. I mean, they had 3 hits today, I believe, against, I think they had 2 hits off Julie Chassin. Yeah, he had an absolute bomb. They're just not hitting at all. And, Chili Davis was brought over to kind of help with their approach in postseason games because runs are so at a minimum in the postseason, and it just hasn't worked out well. So, at the very least, if they lose tomorrow, I think Chili Davis will be fired by Wednesday. I'm hoping anyway. I mean, you've seen my Twitter.
We've all seen your Twitter.
Why do we got to wait till tomorrow?
That's a good point. I wish they just do it now. I mean, they're just not hitting. And I mean, Jose Quintana was good today for facing the Brewers for the 7th time. That always scares you when you get that many looks at him. But he pitched okay. You're losing Brandon Morrow and Pedro Strop really has killed the bullpen. And Carl Edwards Jr. Acquiring the yips really for the second half of the season. He just hadn't been able to throw strikes. So you have to force Steve Cishek in there. And I don't know if he's the one that even gave up the runs today. I know he gave up the hit to Lorenzo Cain.
I thought Wilson.
Wilson, Wilson, 0-2 slider instead of going with his best pitch to Arcia and blew the gates open there.
Arcia is the 4th worst hitter in baseball against fastballs, and they threw him a hanging 0-2 slider today. And Joe Madden was kind of perturbed about it after the game. He actually brought it up willingly, didn't even ask about it. I think Wilson Contreras had a terrible year calling games, especially at the plate. I mean, he's been terrible at the plate, but just why go to a slider? I mean, Wilson, his out pitch is his fastball, and he didn't throw it for some reason, and it ended up costing them a division title. And, I've seen this narrative. Cubs choked. Do you think Cubs choked?
95 wins.
95 wins and didn't win the division.
Just run into a buzzsaw to a team that was playing really good baseball at the right time.
Yeah, Cubs didn't choke. They won 7 of their last 11, 4 of their last 6. Brewers had to win 8 straight to end the season in order to win the division. They did it. They have the MVP in Christian Yelich. Their bullpen's nasty. I mean, it's a 5-inning game against them. You knew Cubs only score 1 run in 5 innings off of Chacin. It's probably ball game over with Josh Hader and Knable and Jeremy Jeffress. So they're a really good squad, and I'm just hoping Cubs can get past Rockies tomorrow. I'm not feeling good about it right now.
Story and Arenado homered in the 9th.
Did they in the 9th? So probably Jansen's in, I imagine, for the Rockies now. Rockies' best pitcher will probably go tomorrow on short rest. Kyle Freeland, he's a lefty. Cubs haven't hit lefties well all season.
One thing you brought up early is with the Rockies getting behind, they're probably not using their relievers up.
Right, and that's another thing. Cubs were in a close game and used all their best relievers today. Rockies got down big early and didn't have to use Wade Davis and I think it's Brian Shaw.
Yeah. Then,
Brian Shaw, he gave up the double to Zobrist in the World Series. Adam Ottavino. So they'll be rested, but having to come from Los Angeles to Chicago, get in late tonight. Hope that kind of works to the Cubs' advantage, although I hate playing home postseason games because it just seems like the home team comes out tight, especially in a one-game kind of thing. So.
All right, let's just go around the table and give our World Series matchup and who ultimately wins.
All right. American League, it's going to be it's kind of going to be a lot of fun. Yeah. Red Sox won 108 games. Indians pitching staff had, I think, at least three starters with 200 strikeouts this year. Astros, top to bottom, their pitching staff is just ridiculous. I don't think a wild card team will win it, but you never know. But I'm probably going to pick the Astros to get back to the World Series. Nationally, it's kind of hard to pick against the Brewers at this stage. They're on fire. I think the other team that could possibly win is the Dodgers just because they're a good team. So I think I'm going to go Astros over Dodgers again, second straight year. Yep.
I'm going to go with the old National League Central matchup in the World Series. I love the Houston Astros, top to bottom, lineup, pitching staff, experience. I mean, that's huge right there. Coming off a win, that's tough, but hadn't bothered them. I'm going to pick the Astros, but I'm going to root for the A's. I love the story out in Oakland. I love the story. I love the no payroll, the Chris Davis story, all that. But I'm going to go with the Astros in the American League. And in the National League, I'm going to go with the best team in the National League. That's the Milwaukee Brewers. And I'm going to take the Brewers winning in 6 over the Astros.
Wow.
Speaking of Chris Davis, it was his 4th consecutive year hitting 247.
Yep.
Remarkable consistency.
Sometimes you'll see a guy go back-to-back years, and that's kind of fluky.
Yeah.
4 years in a
row.
First time it's ever happened in MLB history for a hitter to have at least 10 at-bats.
While hitting over 40 homers, and I think at least 3 of those years.
Yep. Yeah, it's pretty incredible. And a lot of people still don't know who he is.
Right.
He's not in a home run friendly park either.
No,
you got to hit bombs out there.
They do. They hit bombs, and their pitchers wear you out.
Yeah. No, I love the A's. It's hard for me to root for an American League team. Understand that. I hate the DH rule. I love the DH rule. I like the pitcher batting because that's baseball. You do both things. I understand he wants the DH rule in the National League, and yes, that would be the Cubs' advantage because Schwarber's a bona fide DH. But yeah, I'm going to root for the Brewers. It's hard for me to root against them. I do love Counsell. He is a Notre Dame boy.
Oh, good.
Starting early.
And I love him. I do. And you guys have Twitter, Cato Kalin. You follow?
Oh yeah, man.
Okay, for Cato today, I'm glad the Brewers won because he would have jumped off the San Francisco Bridge.
Brewers are puke.
But yeah, Brewers over Astros in 6.
As a Yankee fan, I'd love to see the Yankees get there. I think they'll beat the A's. I have a good feeling about it. Being in the Bronx, I don't like them to get past the Red Sox though, and unfortunately, I got the Red Sox going to the World Series. Pains me to say that. They've just been playing really good baseball all year. And National League is kind of a guessing game. I'm going to be a little different here. I'll go with the Dodgers. It'd be a little different.
That's what I picked.
I thought you picked the Brewers.
I picked Dodgers. Astros over Dodgers. Thanks right here.
That's how much I pay attention to what you said. But I'll go Red Sox over Dodgers. I hate it, but I think they're the best team.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, you guys are running circles around me in the baseball world.
Oh, he does it to me all the time.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm a Cubs fan, and that's about it. I guess if I had to choose, I would probably choose the Astros versus the Brewers. I think. I mean, from what I saw today, so.
Yeah, Bleacher Report has the Astros as the odds-on favorite to win it all right now.
I got a bucket prediction. J-Man's bucket prediction of the week. Both road teams will win tomorrow. You can book that one. Or this week in the wild card.
So you got the A's.
Rockies and A's winning. It's going to be brutal. I'm ready to get to the offseason. I'm telling you.
It's going to be a brutal podcast if that happens.
We got to bring up this Harper thing, though, because we got to debate this.
Okay, go for it.
So I know you're a fan, and I'm a fan of Bryce Harper. Absolutely a stud talent. Number one, you pay him, so obviously whatever he wants paid.
A lot of money.
Where do you put him? Number two.
Right.
Okay, so you move Hayward to center.
I signed Andrew McCutchen to play center.
What do you do with Hayward? $180 million?
Fire him into the sun. I don't know.
Wow.
I
mean, that'll never happen.
No. There's no shot because he has an opt-out after 3 years, and he's not going to do it, obviously, because he hasn't been very good.
No way.
I don't know what you do, to be honest.
You get rid of Schwarber?
I wouldn't get rid of Schwarber. I'd go Happ, Almora, Russell, those three, although Russell doesn't have any value at all. Yeah, he needs cut.
Let me be honest here. So if you sign Harper, you're basically saying because we've got multiple dudes coming up. Rizzo's our captain. You pay him, and you're going to pay Bryant. Javi Baez is the odd man out.
Honestly, as much as I love Anthony Rizzo, he'll be 33 when that deal's done. Mm-hmm. I mean, who knows if he'll be the same hitter? It'd be really tough to. I mean, if you're looking at this roster, he's the guy on this roster that his number will be retired one of these days because of just.
He is the Cub.
He is the captain. I mean, he was there when they lost 101 games and throughout it all. It'd be tough to do that. Now he could still be hitting, and then you're going to have to pay him. It's going to be tough, but when a generational type talent like Bryce Harper becomes a free agent at 26, that's going to be I think they'll pay
for
him.
The Phillies.
Phillies have been a team that has been mentioned
it's
with
weird.
him.
I know it's weird.
Him and Machado.
Yep.
They're in desperate need of a superstar. So are the Cardinals, though. But I don't see anyone wanting to play in St. Louis anymore.
My problem with them signing Harper is he's a 3 or 4 position change guy, meaning you sign him, it's going to impact three to 4 positions. So you're going to lose one of your pitchers, probably Hendricks is the odd man out, and you're going to lose a Baez because you can't afford to pay him, and so you lose Rizzo too. Is he really going to make up the difference for those three? The answer is no way.
Zobrist contract, he'll be off the books next year.
Correct. $16 million.
John Lester,
yep.
In 3 years,
yep.
His money will be off the books.
Yep.
And that's
greatest free agent signing in the history of Chicago Cubs.
Both of them, really. Zobrist and
that's
Lester.
True, but
that was the greatest. Well, I guess Lester was the offseason before, but Theo hasn't had a good offseason. Did not have a good offseason last offseason. No. But that money will be off the books. Javi made himself $100 million at least this year. It will be interesting to see if he can duplicate it, though, because he always kind of seems like one of those guys that'll have a year like this and then kind of go back to the norm. So you hope he can do it again next year. But yeah, it's going to be a tough one.
It'll be interesting.
I agree. Yep. I'm looking forward to it.
Okay, and now talk a little college football, if you guys don't mind.
Oh, sure.
Absolutely.
Perfect topic, Tan Man.
Yeah. First off, Evan Webb and I previously recorded the Week 5 of the Boiler Breakdown, breaking down the Boilers' win over Nebraska. So here that is. Welcome back to Week 5 of the Boiler Breakdown. Got Evan Webb here on the phone. We're going to be breaking down the Boilers' road victory over the Nebraska Cornhuskers by a score of 42-28. Webby, it's always nice to go on the road in the Big Ten, get a win. It's something we haven't been too familiar with, really, in the past 5 or 6 years, and especially in a hard road environment like Nebraska.
Yeah, it was was a really good win for the Boilers, especially, I mean, as you just mentioned, at a place like Nebraska. So I don't think we have. I mean, obviously, Nebraska hasn't been in the Big Ten that long, but I don't think we've won there yet, have we?
No, that was the first win in program history in Lincoln.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, so that was just a really good win for the program. Granted, Nebraska is not what they were, even a decade ago, but still it's a really hostile environment, really good crowd on hand, and you never know with a team like that playing at home when they can turn it around. But thankfully, we got the W.
Well, yeah, I mean, you're playing in front of a hostile crowd, like you said. I think yesterday was their 324th consecutive sellout, which that goes back to the 70s. It's an NCAA record. 90,000. Backs up against the wall. I mean, their team's 0-3, so their team was going to come out pissed off. You knew we were going to get their best shots. And even though they're not the Nebraska of what they were a decade ago, they still have 34 stars on their roster.
Wow.
Purdue has one, maybe two.
Yeah.
So the talent's there. I think Scott Frost, I think he'll get it turned around. It's just going to take time, but the talent's there. Especially on the offense side of the ball. I mean, their true freshman quarterback, Adrian Martinez, they said he was finally as healthy as he had been since week 1 when they played Colorado, or week 2, I should say, since their week 1 game got canceled against Akron. Martinez went yesterday 25 for 42, 323 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 pick, which was a huge pick by Smiley towards the end of the game. When Nebraska kept just trying to drive, Purdue just couldn't put the nail in the coffin for a while. But he also, I thought Purdue actually forced him into some freshman mistakes also. He is really talented on his feet. He had 18 carries for 91 yards. So that's kind of his bread and butter right there. But, I thought, I was really scared right away. Game opens up and Nebraska just goes down. I mean, they elect to receive, go down, score pretty quick. It's like, Purdue's going to have trouble keeping up with his up-tempo. And then they don't allow any points the rest of the first half.
Yeah, the defense kind of playing off what they did last week, played a really good game. Down the stretch, not so much, but for the most part, they stayed strong, a lot different than what it was the first even, 3 games of the season. But, that Martin, I think he's going to be a really good quarterback. Granted, our pass defense isn't the best that he's going to face in the Big Ten, but he definitely showed some flashes of what he could potentially be, 2-3 years down the road. But the defense, I was really impressed with how our defense was able to contain them. But I kind of the same, reaction you did when they went down and scored. I believe they've had some struggles of starting slow the last couple games. I know you and I were talking before the game that if we could just get them to, if we can get out to an early lead and just hopefully make them quit, just based on their, 0-3 start. Hopefully we can get them to quit. But they came out guns blazing right off the bat. But then we were able to hold them, thankfully.
And they didn't quit. That's what was frustrating. I mean, Purdue kept getting up big on them. I mean, Purdue was up 21 at one point, 42-21, and Nebraska just wouldn't quit. It was getting frustrating because Purdue just couldn't get that one more score they needed at times. But, the offense still played a very good game like we'll get into. Scoring 42 points, especially on the road, that you will take that every single week. But, I guess we'll get right into the offense right away. David Blau, I thought, played another really good game. He was 25 for 42 for 328 yards, 1 touchdown, no interceptions. So once again, he's, protecting the ball. I thought the offense as a whole made a lot of big plays, a lot of big chunk plays, and that's what I like to see. The running game I thought was solid. DJ Knox had 15 carries for 82 yards, including a 42-yard run at one point. He had 2 touchdowns. Markel had 14 carries for 59 yards and a touchdown. David had 7 carries for 38 yards and a touchdown. I like that we saw a balanced attack yesterday. I think that was the most balanced attack of a Purdue offense, at least we've seen this year.
Yeah, and that's definitely kind of been one of our, from a Purdue fan, and even kind of from the coach's complaint, was just the last 2 games the Missouri lost and the win against Boston College. We didn't really have much of a run game. Obviously the Missouri game, that was just an absolute shootout, so there wasn't really time to run the ball. But last week against Boston College, we never really saw the run game kind of come to fruition like we hoped. So it was really nice to see the run game get going. And DJ Knox is just an absolute stud. I love that kid. He's just a bowling ball out there, and he is so hard to bring down. Same with Markel Jones.
They both run really hard.
Yeah, if we can get them kind of at a consistent effort, for the rest of the season, I think we'll we sit in pretty good shape, I think.
Yeah, those two are the workhorses. Terry Fuller's kind of taking the back seat. He's not even really getting any carries anymore, but he's young. He can be the guy next year. And Richie Worship, who I think is going to redshirt this year because it doesn't look like his knee's going to be recovered anytime soon. And then there's other backs. But, yeah, Knox and Jones are your seniors. You want to ride those guys. They're both experienced, tough to bring down, and add a lot to the offense. We saw a lot of different guys catch balls yesterday. Bryson Hopkins led the team with 103 yards off 5 catches. He had a touchdown. He had the biggest play yardage-wise of the game. He caught a 51-yarder. He's really separated himself between him and Cole Herdman. Herdman didn't even have a catch yesterday, which I think he got banged up. But Hopkins, the junior, has really became that number 1 tight end target for Purdue.
Yeah, I would agree. I said this game was a lot of running backs and tight ends, which usually was a good formula for success last year. Last year we didn't really have the receiving core that we were wanting or was hoping for, so we relied a lot on those running backs and tight ends. And yeah, like I said, Hopkins has definitely separated himself, and I'm really excited the fact that we have him for another year. We get to obviously watch him finish this year, but get him again for another year next year.
Another solid game out of freshman Rondell Moore. He didn't score. He didn't do anything real flashy, but he had 8 catches for 85 yards, including 1 for 40 yards. So, he...
That 1 for 40 was pretty impressive.
Yeah, it was.
He was just able to pinball, and he doesn't go down.
He is so strong for his size. Yeah. It is incredible. And the way Purdue uses him is pretty clever. He's usually in the slot. He just runs over the middle routes. A lot of people would think he would run a go route once in a while, but we haven't seen that yet. I think we'll see it at some point. But if you remember about a decade ago when Purdue had a similar player, Dorian Bryant, he didn't run a lot of go routes.
No, it was kind of a very similar scheme for him.
Mm-hmm. A couple other guys who got in the action. Isaac Zico had 3 catches for 71 yards, including 1 of 48 yards, which was a flea flicker, which if David Blau threw it a little beyond, was probably a touchdown. But I don't care. You just have to make sure that ball's complete. That's one you just got to make sure it's complete. Alexander Horvath, the freshman walk-on fullback from Mishawaka, had 2 receptions for 28 yards. I like that they finally got him the ball. That's something Jeff Brom hit on the Jeff Brom radio show on Wednesday night, was trying to get Horvath the ball a little more. So I like how they use that. That's fun. We haven't seen a fullback used in a while. DJ Knox had 2 catches for 21 yards. Jared Sparks had 3 catches for 14 yards. Kept trying to go deep to him with some deep fade routes, just couldn't quite get the connection there. And then Jackson Anthrop had 2 catches for 6 yards. No catches for Terry Wright. He had one go through his hands in the end zone. But I just like how every week we're trying to target more and more guys.
Yeah, I feel that's going to be the key. As much as we love Rondale, the defense now knows that he's our go-to target. And like kind of we mentioned earlier in the season, is that after we saw the Rondale Moore show at against Northwestern, if we're gonna have any success, we've got to have other guys step up and catch the ball when they're throwing the ball, because we can't throw it to him every single time. Because like you said, we're not really going deep with them. We're just doing those short little routes, and those can be easy to pick off sometimes. So yeah, it's really nice to see, especially Zico being. I know he struggled a lot last year as a junior college transfer. Him and Terry have definitely shown improvement this year, so it's been really nice to see them. And then obviously the tight ends are going to be really important for us moving forward this year. Yeah, absolutely. And quarterback situation, David Blau played the whole game, of course, played the whole game, of course, again. But Elijah Sindelar was available and ready to go if needed as a backup. He is healthy and back. Still don't know what his injury was, but it's nice to know that he is available if needed. I'm trying to think. I don't remember the last time. Actually, it probably was 2 seasons ago, but it just feels like forever since Purdue had the same quarterback start and finish the whole game 3 games in a row. Right. It was probably Blau 2 years ago.
Yeah, I think it was, but I'm not for certain about that, but I imagine it was. I tried to put that year just kind of out of my memory, the whole Hazel era. As I text you and a good buddy of the show, Andrew Eiler, another huge Purdue fan, earlier today, I read yesterday that yesterday was Jeff Brom's 9th win as Purdue's head coach, and it only took him 18 career games. Took Darrell Hazel 42 career games to get 9 wins. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Not comment on that. Yeah, there's not much to say. It was just awful, awful football. Let's flip back to Nebraska a little bit. Talk about some of their stats. Their running back had a big day. Divine Ozigbo, I believe is how you pronounce his last name. Yeah. He had 17 carries for 170 yards, 2 touchdowns. He averaged 10 yards per carry. Frustrating thing about that to me was it seemed like they got a lot of first downs on first and second down. I believe on third and fourth down, they were only 4 for 15 for the game. So they were getting a lot of their first downs on first and second down. It just that was one thing that frustrated me with the defense in the second half. Inability to tackle. It just seemed like they were trying to go low at the legs and just kept missing. And then just getting up too many chunk plays on first down. But other than that, the receivers, Nebraska, J.D. Spielman had 10 catches for 135 yards, 2 touchdowns. He was their go-to guy the whole game. Stanley Morgan Jr., who is also very good. He had 4 catches for 69 yards. But what bothers me is you look at the receivers. They had 5 different receivers. Granted, one of them only caught 1 ball. 5 different receivers that averaged double digits per reception of yards. That's kind of worrisome.
Yeah, it is. I mean, we've kind of known that our past defense hasn't been the best as it has been in the past, as it has in the last couple of years. But yeah, I'm not really sure. I wasn't able to catch a whole lot of the game, on TV. I was watching a lot with my phone, so I wasn't able to see, what types of, schemes we were running out there. Was it a lot of were we just playing off them too much, or what was?
Yeah, there was some cushion, and yeah, for the most part, just a lot of missed tackles, to be honest.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't really remember ever allowing a bomb.
Yeah.
And the defense did step up when they needed to in the fourth quarter towards the end of the game. I mean, they could have broke, and Wisconsin could have got it 42-35 multiple times. And they got big enough plays when they needed it. Our defense did get to the quarterback twice. However, no defensive lineman got to the quarterback. It was Jacob Thieneman and Marcus Bailey on 2 blitzes, which Bailey had another good game, 11 tackles, 5 solos, a sack, and a tackle for loss, so he played really well. But there are some guys on defense that are really starting to step up and grow as the season goes on, and I think that's a really good sign. Some guys, Derek Barnes, I think he's Purdue's best pass rusher, to be honest.
Yep, I would agree.
Navon Mosley had 14 tackles yesterday, 6 of those solo. I thought he played pretty well. Thieneman's always solid. Cornell Jones has turned into a really nice player. I thought Kenneth Major played really well for the freshman. He broke up a pass or 2 in the end zone, I remember off the top of my head. So, yeah, there's a lot of guys that are starting to play really well for Purdue on the defense side of the ball. And looking at Nebraska's defense, they only had 1 sack against David Blau, so that's kudos to the offensive line. Played a really good game. And they didn't have too many penalties. Nebraska had over 100 yards of penalties yesterday.
I feel like I was watching a game between Purdue of like 3 weeks ago.
Exactly.
They were doing so many stupid penalties. It was ridiculous.
So many personal fouls and just dumb penalties. And, Scott Frost put that on himself yesterday. So Purdue did have 7 punts yesterday, which is higher than I realized.
So I did not realize we had 7.
Yeah, I didn't either. But all in all, it was nice to see Spencer Evans make both of his field goal attempts. I'm anytime we can go on the road in the Big Ten and get a win, it's I'll take it. I think that's right up there with one of Braum. I would say you rank Braum's best wins at Purdue. I would say the bowl game at Arizona is up there, then the game at Iowa, and then this one. I mean, the Indiana game was huge just with the stipulations, but it was a home game. There's just something about winning on the road or neutral field that adds a little bit extra, I think.
Right, and I would absolutely agree. And I know that Iowa game, at the time, I was not expecting to win that game at all. And then, if we would have lost that, it would have, ruined any bowl chances. But so that's why I kind of put that one up a little higher. But I mean, obviously this one, you lose this, you go down 1-4. So it's really kind of, we'll see how this season shakes out. But yeah, it's nice to see some consistency finally with the offense last couple of games, and I think the defense is definitely getting better with each week. So hopefully this bye week, I think I'm almost worried that the bye week's going to be worse for the offense. I feel like David Blau is just rolling right now. I don't want to give him any time off. I want to get to the next game. I think the defense will definitely need this bye week we got coming up.
I know, and it is too bad. I wish I almost wish they were playing like a Wisconsin or Ohio State coming off the bye, give Brom and staff 2 weeks to prepare, add some new wrinkles to the game plan. But I'm not going to talk down any opponent because Purdue did lose to Eastern Michigan, who continues to lose every week and making that loss look worse and worse. They lost to Northern Illinois yesterday. So Illinois is actually, speaking to them, and we won't hit we can hit on it a little bit because we're not going to have a breakdown next week since we don't have a game, of course. They are coming off a bye week, and they travel to Rutgers next week and search for their third win of the season. Illinois is 2-2 right now, I think. So, they should win at Rutgers, I would think. And then they'll want revenge on Purdue. Purdue's beat them 2 years in a row. Last time Purdue was over there was Darrell Hazel's last win. 9th and last win as Purdue's coach. So, but no, I don't think this coaching staff will let Purdue overlook anybody.
Oh, absolutely not.
Not after what's happened. Because if you win that game, you're 3-3 going into which will be a really tough challenge in Ohio State on October 20th at home. I mean, I'll be feeling pretty good if we're 3-3 after starting 0-3.
Yeah, I think if you get 3-3, you're gonna get a lot of those fans back that probably kind of wrote the team off after probably really even the 0-2 start, especially, definitely after the Eastern Michigan loss, and probably even more so than Missouri. So if you can get 3-3, that definitely kind of rights the ship a little bit. It should be a good buzz for that game.
Yeah, and I'm not going to say the B word yet. I want to make sure we win Illinois, then maybe I can slip it out in my vocabulary again.
I think I saw something yesterday. It's like if we want to talk about that particular word, then we have to go on the road at Illinois, at Minnesota, and at Indiana to even think about getting there, then possibly even like beating an Iowa at home or something.
Yeah, and then if you slip up, then you're gonna have to upset a Ohio State, a Michigan State, or Wisconsin. Which Michigan State hasn't been playing very good yet this year, even though they've only lost one game. They haven't looked overly impressive, so that game might not be too far out of reach. Whereas Ohio State's going to be a really uphill battle. In Wisconsin, we haven't beat since 2003, but at least that game is at home. So, and one thing about Nebraska, now with this loss, they have the second longest losing streak in the nation of 8 games. Their last win actually came against us last year.
That's right. I did hear that stat.
That 1-point win, which we had no business losing that game last year, but found a way to gift wrap them the win. But I think it will be interesting going forward. I could see, as long as both coaches stay at those programs for a while, I could see Scott Frost and Jeff Brom developing a little bit of a Nebraska-Purdue rivalry in the Big Ten West.
I'd be all for it.
I mean, you got both young coaches. Some words were said in press conferences this past week. So I don't know. I just think I think Purdue definitely used that as motivation. David Blau kind of admitted it after the game, and if nobody understands what we're talking about, after last weekend's loss against Michigan, 56-10 loss, I should say, against Michigan, Scott Frost said, well, at least we have a winnable game against Purdue next week. Somebody asked Jeff Brom about that in his Monday press conference, and he pretty much said he understands why Scott Frost said it. He's been in that position before, coming off a really bad loss that leaves a taste in your mouth. But he also said everything that's heard, or everything that's said is heard. And he said he was going to make sure the team was aware of what was said. And I think like senior captains Kirk Barron and David Blau definitely made sure of that. So.
Oh, yeah. And you even saw after the game, some of the coaches were talking about how that was a very winnable game for the Boilers. And so it was definitely a nice little kind of poke at Scott Frost for his words. And thanks for the bulletin board material.
Oh, yeah. And one thing is it's not really football related, but it is Purdue related. I loved seeing what Jeff Brom did with his opening remarks and his post-game press conference before he even said anything about the game. He really cool. Gave a shout-out to Tyler Trent, who's a huge diehard Purdue fan, was currently a sophomore at Purdue. He's been battling cancer for a long, long time. It's come back multiple times, and this time, unfortunately, it's gotten to the point where he can't go back to Purdue as a student, and it's not looking the best, but everybody's hopeful and praying for him, and I just thought that was really cool. It's one of those moments where I'm like, I'm glad this guy is the coach of my university's football team.
Mm-hmm. And it transcends football. It's more than sports at that point. It's someone in the community. I'm not sure if you saw, but it was DJ Knox, Marcus Bailey, Blau, Sindelar, and Barron, they actually delivered the game ball to Tyler Trent today. I think it was.
I did just see that before we started recording. So that's
that was really
I think
cool.
that's the captains, or at least a handful of the captains. So that was very cool. And that kid, I know he's in the thoughts of everybody around Purdue and all Purdue fans worldwide. And
if there's anyone listening who has not heard about his story, I suggest you just search his name on Twitter or Google, and you're going to find everyone loves this kid, from Indy Star Riders to I saw even Scott Van Pelt. When he's just a really good kid, and we're all thinking about him.
he's a fighter. I mean, his definition of somebody who doesn't give up and fights. So, any more thoughts about the game or upcoming game against Illinois, the season to this point, even Purdue basketball? Anything? Got anything?
I'm always ready for Purdue basketball. We can get into that as it gets closer. Trying to stay focused on football.
Sure.
No, I mean, I was really pumped after this win.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I know Wisconsin, or not Wisconsin, Nebraska.
Yeah, they all went red and white. There's so many teams in the damn Big Ten that wear red and white.
Yeah, no, they all suck. It's a great win regardless of what their record is. It's a road win in the Big Ten. You can't take those for granted. I'm really glad to see this team not give up after those. I mean, going really worst possible scenario, going 1-4 at home, responded really well. And I think that, hey, you get the win at Illinois, and let's start looking forward. But obviously you got to focus on the Illini. And as much as I want to say that that'll be a winnable game, I don't want to give them any chance to upset us like we just did. So just one game at a time.
Yep, feeling a lot better now after winning 2 in a row, and hopefully get some guys that are nicked up healthy this week and defend that cannon. Keep it for the third straight year. So
let's do it.
All right. Well, as always, boiler up, hammer down, hail Purdue.
Boiler up.
All right, let's start with some top 25 games. This one's actually in the Big Ten. Maryland's at number 15, Michigan. Michigan's 17.5-point favorite.
What was that?
Maryland at Michigan. Michigan 17.5-point favorite.
Michigan covers.
Definitely Michigan.
Really?
Maryland's...
I'm going to take Maryland in the points.
I mean, Maryland's...
Northwestern just embarrassed Michigan.
And Michigan was lucky to get out of that game, down 17 points. But
Michigan did win that one.
I understand that, but I'm saying that's an embarrassing win for the Wolverines.
I'll take Michigan, but they don't cover. I'll take them because they're...
Oh, you can do that?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm taking Michigan and not covering then. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. Northwestern is at number 20, Michigan State. Michigan State's an 11.5-point favorite.
Give me the green.
Sparty.
Yeah, Michigan State for sure.
I think Michigan State in a close one. Michigan State hasn't impressed me, though, really, this year. They've won a lot of close games. They only beat Central Michigan by 11. This is going to be a blowout. Kansas at number 9, West Virginia. West Virginia's 28.5-point favorite.
That's
everybody.
Yeah,
West Virginia.
Guerrero put up 500 on them.
Yeah.
Willie played more than a quarter is the actual question.
Here's another big point spread. Number 1, Alabama at Arkansas. 34.5-point favorite.
I'm not picking Arkansas, but Alabama's not covering that.
You don't think so? In the first half?
Who'd they play? Louisiana Lafayette or something?
Dogs off, though.
Yeah.
Bama, large.
Yeah, give me Bama the points.
I agree.
Arkansas awful. They're awful.
Yeah.
What is that record? They're 1-4.
Bielema, when he walked out, he left nothing.
Yep.
No, not even cupboard doors.
Yep. Game of the week, at least in game day terms, Red River Shootout, Texas at Oklahoma. Oklahoma's a 7.5-point favorite.
Where's it at? Oklahoma?
It's at
it's
the
neutral,
for
isn't
Cotton
it?
Bowl.
What's the over-under?
It is 60.5.
Over.
Oh, yeah, I'm picking
I'm not touching the spread, but I'll take the over.
I'm taking the over on that. I think Oklahoma wins it.
I would agree.
I'll take Oklahoma covering. Tech's been playing better, but...
Kyler Murray starting, or did they go with the other guy? Do you know? Have you heard?
I didn't think Kyler was supposed to play against Baylor, and he scored 7 touchdowns.
Yeah, so I assume it's Murray.
Yeah, I don't know.
Boston College travels to newly ranked number 23 NC State. NC State's a 4-point favorite.
Wolfpack. Boston College ends up 4-8. They already won. I think they've already won 4 games. They lose out.
They're 4-1.
You can book that. Lose their next 7.
You book so many things.
You're bound to get something right.
I know it. That's why I do it.
I'll take the home team, the Wolfpack.
I would agree. Wolfpack.
I'll take Boston College just because I hope it makes Purdue look
Better.
That's the only reason. Number 5 LSU travels to the Swamp to take on the number 22 ranked Gators. LSU is 2.5-point favorite.
Really, on the road.
Coach O's got them rolling.
Give me Florida. LSU was in a close one with Ole Miss, weren't they? Or they blow them out?
They blew them out.
Never mind.
Ole Miss.
So I got a connection to Florida. So my soon-to-be brother-in-law down the road here, his name's Andrew Piper. He's a Mississippi State boy. Him and Mullen are kind of tight from Mississippi State days. He worked there. But I'm gonna go with the Gators because Dan Mullen's a coach, man. He's a heck of a coach.
He is a coach.
So I'm gonna go with the Gators.
I've always liked Florida kind of as another school besides Purdue. I'll take the Gators in this one.
That wasn't because of Tim Tebow.
I do like Tim Tebow. As you can tell,
Yeah.
Mac over there.
I guess I'll be the odd man out, and I'll pick LSU.
Here's a rivalry game. Florida State at number 17, Miami, Florida. Josh's Hurricanes.
My
his
Hurricanes,
adopted college football team. 12.5-point favorites, the Canes are.
You didn't say Florida State's ranked, did you?
No.
Florida State's awful.
3-2.
They're 3-2.
Yeah.
Miami's 4-1.
Give me the U.
The turnover chain.
Yeah, the U covers.
Yeah, Miami.
Number 4, Clemson at Wake Forest. It sounds like their quarterback's going to be okay. Get ready to play. 17-point spread.
Clemson, big.
Weren't we all kind of hoping? Dabo said he texted. If he could have texted Brian at halftime.
Yeah.
Will you come back, please? I mean,
What an idiot.
Yeah.
You don't give up on your team.
I'm not into anybody quitting, and definitely don't quit on your team. But just because you get benched, you're not playing well. But Clemson will be fine.
Yeah, I like Clemson. This
Clemson.
one.
Even though Syracuse is a good squad, Notre Dame's got the Pinstripe Bowl and Shamrock Series, whatever you want to call
Dungy
it.
is the real deal.
He's a good
he
coach.
Can run.
Yep.
Dino Babers.
Good player. Yep.
Iowa State at number 25, Oklahoma State. Oklahoma State's 11-point favorite.
Who did Oklahoma State lose to?
They lost at home to Texas Tech.
A few weeks ago, right? Give me the Cowboys.
I agree.
I like them in a close one. Iowa State plays ranked teams really good.
Yeah, I think Iowa State pulls that one off.
I like it. Finally an upset.
Big upset, yeah.
Indiana Hoosiers coming off a 7-point victory over Rutgers. They host the number 3 Ohio State Buckeyes. Ohio State is a 25-point favorite.
I think they cover that. I think they win. I'll give a score here: 48-10.
Oh. Yeah, I'm going to say the Buckeyes. They pulled a rabbit out of their hat. But I do root for IU, and I definitely root for the Hoosiers in that bucket game. Just so you're aware.
All right.
But I'm gonna say Ohio State wins and covers.
I think Ohio State wins and covers, even though Indiana typically plays Ohio State really good. You remember what happened last year after Ohio State won a very close one to Penn State? They went on the road to Iowa and laid an egg. Urban, even though I can't stand the guy, he's not going to let them do that again. So Ohio State covers.
Ohio State for sure.
Kinnick's a little different than Memorial, though.
Just a little. It's going to be full of red. They'll take their overhead shot of the stadium because it's going to be filled with red. So
filled with scarlet.
That's a good day to do that. Arizona State travels to number 21 Colorado. Colorado's 2.5-point favorite.
Who was the first team you said?
Herm Edwards.
We play to win the game.
Oh, okay. Arizona State.
Herm, baby. He's got him playing.
Yeah, I didn't see that coming. He hadn't coached since when? 2006?
Yeah, it's been a while.
Man, he's out there forking people. I like Herm and the Sun Devils.
I'm taking the Buffs. Colorado's undefeated in South.
Colorado's kind of your adopted state, isn't it?
I think they're really good. I've watched them a couple times.
They are a good squad.
I think they'll take care of Arizona State. Close game, though.
I think Herm Edwards and Arizona State.
Everybody likes Herm. SMU travels to number 12 UCF. I can't believe they're number 12. I mean, they're good, but they just keep rising.
Should be like 4th.
24-point favorites.
Defending national champs.
Oh, God. Don't even get me started with that. Scott Frost.
Give me, what's Central Florida's mascot?
Golden Knights.
Give me the Golden Knights.
UCF. They're still a good squad.
Yeah, I like them to cover.
UCF for sure.
Number 13, Kentucky. Yeah, Kentucky's ranked 13th in college football. That's hard to believe, but they're pretty good. They travel to A&M. A&M's 5.5-point favorite.
Give me A&M.
I will go with Jimbo and the 12th man. That's going to be Kentucky's going to get their rude awakening this weekend.
Kentucky's they're off to a good start, 5-0. Stoops is hot on the recruiting trail right now, but I like A&M on the at home.
A&M.
Vanderbilt at Georgia. Georgia's 26.5-point favorite.
Georgia. I don't think they look great. I did not think they looked great.
Still
against,
kills Tennessee.
Tennessee's
terrible.
I've seen Vandy play this year at the I went to Vandy Notre Dame game. I still think Georgia is the second best team in the country.
They're good.
They're very good and deep. I think they kill Vandy.
I agree.
Georgia, yep.
Their defense is right there with Bama, and nobody else can say that.
Nope. Number 8, Auburn at Mississippi State. Auburn's a 3-point favorite.
At Mississippi State, coming off a tough loss to their former coach. Give me the Bulldogs at home. You say it's at home or on the road?
It's at Mississippi State.
At Mississippi State.
Tigers.
I like Auburn in a close one.
I think Auburn as well.
Nebraska travels to number 16, Wisconsin. Wisconsin's 20-point favorites.
Wisconsin, easy.
All right, I don't get to make buckets, but I'm making a bucket.
All right.
Put your mortgage on the Badgers.
Yeah.
Nebraska is terrible.
Yeah, they're not good. I can tell you that.
I will say their offensive lineman gave one of the best speeches I've seen on Twitter out there talking about the difference, between just being average and good and what it takes. But they're god awful.
Yeah. I think Scott Frost didn't realize this is going to take a little longer than he thought, but I think their fans will be patient. They better because they forked up a lot of money for the hometown boy.
Frost is a good coach.
Yeah,
They did push out a guy that won 9.
They should have never
games.
pushed Bo Pelini out. That was stupid. And then they hired one of the worst coaches ever. I don't know what they were thinking, but Nebraska rolls. Nebraska.
I just can't believe that Kyle said that after Purdue beat them. I mean, you should want Nebraska to win. Make Purdue.
Nebraska's not winning. I'm telling you that right
make
now.
Purdue look better.
I know they're not good, though. That's the thing. And Wisconsin's just going to run all over them. Jonathan Taylor's a stud. So, number 10, Washington at winless UCLA. Washington's 21-point favorite. It's going to be a long night for Chip.
Yeah. Long season.
Potato chips in for a bad one. But it's going to get ugly. Washington is a good team.
I think he's an overrated coach. I'm sorry. I really do. But
the scheme, not the coach. I think he had the players to make the scheme, and now he's finding out. I mean, if he gets he recruits those guys back into UCLA. But remember, he inherited that.
Mora left him out.
He inherited that.
Yeah.
So, I'm Washington's good.
Huskies for sure.
Utah at number 14, Stanford, coming off to a loss to the rival Fighting Irish.
That ain't a loss. It was a butt whooping.
It was a loss.
It was a butt whooping.
Stanford's 5-point favorite.
Stanford, easy.
Yeah, the Christmas tree's going to bounce back. Its bulbs got lit up last weekend, so I'm going to go with them.
Yeah, I like Stanford as well.
Yeah.
And then a couple more games before we get to your Irish. They're coming.
Okay.
Illinois, only half left of this. Only a 4-point favorite at Rutgers.
4 points? It actually went up.
At Buckers, a.k.a. Rutgers.
Give me Rutgers by 7.
I'm not picking because that game shouldn't be on TV. If it's on TV,
I'm pretty sure
that's
it's
sad.
not.
Network at noon.
But yeah, it'll be Illinois. But Rutgers, Nebraska, have they played yet? Because if they play,
They haven't played yet. I don't know if they will. They're not.
time stops at that point.
We have Josh created a petition on
Yeah.
change.org to get Rutgers out of the Big Ten.
Oh, really?
Sign
Yeah,
it.
so go on and sign it.
Okay.
I think we have 7
They don't.
signings.
Yeah.
They don't. Well, the only reason it was put out there is
For
so
the
they
New
could,
York market.
the New York market, and you've got the worst college ever. I mean, yeah.
I like Illinois. And then the other Big Ten game we didn't cover, Iowa at Minnesota. Iowa's 6-point favorite.
Give me Iowa.
What's over under on that?
It is
I'm going to guess 36.
42.5.
Under.
Yeah, I was going to say under.
Yeah.
12-9 final score.
I can't stand PJ Fleck. He can put that over somewhere. I like Iowa.
Iowa.
All right, you're Fighting Irish, ranked number 6 now in the nation. They're a 5.5-point favorite at number 24, Virginia Tech, back in the rankings after taking down a ranked Duke team. But they had a horrendous loss 2 weeks ago at Old Dominion.
Yeah, how could they be back in already after
I was
losing
wondering the
to
same
Old
thing.
Dominion?
Voltek's quarterback back. Is he?
I think he's out 4 to 6 weeks.
I think he broke his. Let me see.
Let's find out, because if he is not back, the Irish will roll.
He's out indefinitely.
Huh?
IR, out indefinitely.
The Irish will roll. That team played. What a difference a leader makes at the quarterback position for the energy all the way around that team. Our defense historically has been awful. I mean, truthfully, Notre Dame's defense is not good. They go to the national championship the one year. They had the most lucky breaks, and that's okay. We'll take them.
Yeah.
But you watch that game Saturday night, as I watch, that defense dominated. One of the best backs in the country. He broke out for one run, shut down. Finally, I've been preaching this all along. DBs, do not give 8-yard cushions. Get up on the receiver, make them earn the catch. I don't know how many batted balls down we have. It was just great to see. And then it's nice to have a QB sit back, throw an 7 to 10 yard pattern, and complete it. When you can do that and make the average throw, and then Dexter Williams' back was huge. He's fresh. We're good. I mean, we really are.
And in untypical Notre Dame fashion, the defense played the best in the second half.
Absolutely, yeah.
And that's typically when they're the worst. Yep. So, I mean, yeah, I'm pumped for what I've seen the last 2 games with Ian Book at QB position.
This will be their toughest road test, but it's only their second road test of the year. It will be a tough environment, but I think Notre Dame is better than Virginia Tech. I will take the Irish in the cover. The spread.
So you guys are both taking
Absolutely.
Notre Dame.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
I wish I could pull a Lee Corso and pull out like a hokey thing. I'm picking Va Tech, Blacksburg at night.
Inner Sandman's going to be rocking.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. I just like picking against Notre Dame.
If Notre Dame, well, I do too, but I'm trying to get my picks right. If Notre Dame gets by this one,
they'll run the table.
Unfortunately, the schedule's now going to work against them because you were thinking Florida State was going to be decent. USC was going to be decent, but regardless, Notre Dame has the Notre Dame vote. If they run the table or one loss, they're in.
Really, the only game that could potentially cause
Syracuse.
a problem is Syracuse.
I'm worried to death about Syracuse. Yeah. And a home game for them, too. I mean,
well, Notre Dame, I still think will have more fans there.
Sure.
That's in Yankee Stadium.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. Because they have those god-awful pinstripe jerseys.
Oh, that's right.
And the helmets are worse. The helmets are worse than that. But
Shamrock Series.
Hey, I got to bring this up to everybody. People don't know about this. The Tan Man Show need to be updated. Back in the day, me and the Tan Man had a bet on Notre Dame and Purdue. And this is the honest to God's truth. The bet was he had to mow my yard if Notre Dame won. Lo and behold, Notre Dame's playing Purdue. I'll just let you tell it because this is awful.
It was back in Josh remembers this. I had a bet with him.
I had a bet with him.
The Hope days. This was or Hopeless,
Dating
whatever.
Hope, and I was a manager for Dating Hope for 2 years. He called a timeout on third down when Jimmy McLochlin was going to spike the ball. And then he throws the damn Kyle
Notre Dame was out of timeouts.
He was going to throw it, and then he ends up throwing to Kyle Rudolph, and I had to mow Max yards. And I had a bet with Josh. Josh said there's no way Purdue was going to win, and if Purdue won, he'd pay for my next 20 Wendy's trips.
Nope. Saved me a lot of money that day.
I thought it was awesome. I texted him right away and said, tell the coach thank you because Notre Dame was out of timeouts. We were going to have to spike it.
And if I remember right, your wife said you guys were in Texas at the time.
We were, yes.
And you went around, your celebration was you acted like you were pull starting your mower.
I was at Hurricane School in Arlington. And I go out in the hallway because I'm so excited, and I have my air push mower going down the hallway, and people are looking at me like, this guy's on drugs or something. I said, I'm just excited. I got a new lawn boy.
I still remember it clear as day. I will not draft Kyle Rudolph on my fantasy team because of that night. Oh, yeah, I still remember it. That's still one of the...
It's an all-timer.
That's still one of the toughest Purdue losses I can remember. But, no, it's all good. I'm ready for that rivalry to begin again in 2021, I think.
2021, but it needs to happen.
It goes on 1 year, drops off 3, then goes on 6. I just hope to God, and I don't know if it'll happen, hope to God Jeff Brom's still at Purdue. I don't know.
And that's not going to happen. He's a fantastic coach. But unfortunately, you about lost him last year. You guys were holding on to the threads. You probably are going to lose him. But here's the deal, and I don't like it. The Notre Dame ACC deal that they signed to get the games in, I hate that. I hate that for many reasons because you lose. Well, we lost Michigan at first. You've lost Purdue, and I know the Army and the Navy, or the Navy and the
Air Force.
Oh, the other rivalry, Boston College.
They have 6 rivalries, and a few of them they don't play every year.
Yeah, and that's the traditional games that we've lost because of that. So I know they got to honor it, but it stinks.
I loved it. Notre Dame beat Purdue almost every single year. I think I've only remember Purdue beating Notre Dame 3 times that I can remember, but it was still a fun game every year.
Absolutely.
It was on national television. It was just easy prime time. It was fun.
Both teams come right through town to go to the other stadium. You've got to roll right up 25.
Well, that's why I was thankful for the Crossroad Classic because they finally would play each other in basketball every other year because they refused to play. It was like, this is stupid. But it is what it is. So, all right, show's winding down here. guys want to pick some NFL games real quick?
Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
Starting this Thursday night, Colts at New England. New England is 10-point favorite. Julian Edelman is back. T.Y. Hilton, I think, is out.
T.Y.'s out?
I think. I'm not 100% sure on that.
Colts wide receivers have struggled all year. Andy had a good game yesterday, though. He struggled in the first half, but really turned it on. But I think New England rolls. Right when you think, people are dumb enough to think the Patriots were actually done and Birdie was done after those 2 losses. And
it's all Dolphins' fault.
You just knew coming in that there's no way and they were going to roll. So they're going to do it again this week.
I was at the Colts game yesterday. I watched that. The Texans are bad. Watt and Clowney, fantastic pass rushers. They have nothing else.
You know what's sad? I picked them to go to the Super Bowl.
Oh, really?
Predictions.
Wow.
Yeah, I thought Deshaun would turn into what he was last year.
He regressed a lot. He's having the sophomore slump. But with that being said, the Patriots will demolish the Colts.
It's going to be ugly.
Yeah.
Colts might try to get a little pumped up to rub in the face of Josh McDouche, but it's not going to
He
happen.
made the right call, though. If you want to win, you stay in New
hate that
England.
guy, but
I agree.
I would say Patriots.
Broncos at Jets, even though the Broncos play tonight, and we'll predict that game at the end. Broncos at Jets Sunday.
What's the spread on that? Does it?
Jets by 1.
I think. Whoa. Yeah, I think Denver wins by 10. Jets are bad.
I know, but Broncos aren't that good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I would like to think they can beat a rookie quarterback.
They should be able
It's on
to.
the road. They have to because
Jets
they get
defense
the Rams the next week.
Yeah, Jets defense is fairly good.
So I'll take the Broncos in that one.
Yeah, the Broncos lost to the Ravens, though, after the Ravens won yesterday. Makes it look better.
Yeah.
But the Broncos, so West Coast team traveling east.
They're not good when that happens.
And the Jets' defense is legit. I'm going to take the Jets.
I think I'll go with 10, man.
All right.
I'll say the Broncos.
Titans at Bills. Titans 3.5-point favorites. Titans upset the
huge
Super Bowl
win.
champs yesterday.
They're sitting here 3-1. They're going to beat the Bills. Bills, after blowing out Minnesota.
They caught Minnesota not looking.
Yeah, they got shut out yesterday by a defense that's not very good in the Packers. So I think Titans easy.
Yeah, I'll definitely take the Titans.
Yeah, I think Vrabel's a good coach.
Yeah.
Titans.
Giants at Carolina. Carolina's 7-point favorite.
Panthers were on a bye, weren't they? Mm-hmm. I would hate having to bye this early because you have to play 12 games the rest of the year. Panthers easy.
You never bet against a team coming off the bye. I'll take, in this situation, when the other team played the week before, Panthers.
I like the Panthers. McCaffrey runs all over the Giants.
Yes.
Yeah, Panthers.
Christian had 28 carries.
He's good.
Last week.
Last week. Yeah.
I didn't think he'd be able to be that guy. I thought maybe 12 carries and
he's a loser.
10 targets.
He should have won the Heisman a couple years ago and he got screwed. But that's another story for another day. Miami Dolphins at the Cincinnati Bengals. Bengals are 6-point favorites.
Bengals coming off a huge win against Atlanta. Dolphins are banged up. 2 offensive linemen out for the year. Their second best cornerback is out a few weeks. I think Bengals pretty easily. I think they'll be able to move the ball.
Yeah, the Bengals.
I like the Bengals. Dalton's playing well.
Is Eifert out?
He's out.
He's done.
That was ugly.
Felt bad for the guy. He was in tears. Yeah. I mean, it's because he's been through so much. This is year after year the guy gets hurt. Good dude, too.
Yeah, I would say Bengals.
Bengals. Unanimous. Baltimore at Cleveland. Cleveland had a heartbreaking loss yesterday to the Raiders. Baltimore's 3-point favorite on the road.
Who was the first team you said?
Baltimore at Cleveland.
Give me Baltimore.
Over under.
47.
Under.
Yeah.
I'll take the under, and I ain't touching the spread, but I take the under.
I like the Ravens. This is going to be a tough one for Baker. This is a little better defense than he's
Welcome
played.
to NFL, Baker Mayfield.
Yeah, this is going to be a tough one.
I'd take the Ravens.
Packers at Detroit. Packers 1.5-point favorites.
Detroit could have easily won that game in Dallas yesterday. It's in Detroit, you said?
Yeah.
It's going to be a tough one. I don't think Green Bay's look great. Give me Motown.
I won't go against Rodgers. I'll take Rodgers.
I like the Packers.
Packers.
The Jaguars at Arrowhead face the Chiefs. Chiefs are 3-point favorites. Of course, they play tonight, too.
Great offense versus great defense.
And crappy defense on the Chiefs versus mediocre offense.
Yeah, I think Chiefs score a little too many points.
Smitty's got to be upset with you.
Yeah, I can't. So I got this thing with Cannon because I ripped on Bortles and Cannon Cannon said, if you want to put a sign in my parents' yard, you can't rip on Bortles. So my boy Cannon, this is for you. But I the breakdown was perfect. You got a great defense against a really good offense, and then you have an average offense against a poor defense.
Yeah.
I'm going to take the Jags.
Yeah.
Like Bortles sucks.
As good as Kansas City's offense is, their defense is that bad.
Yeah.
But I like them at Arrowhead. Bortles got to have a tough day.
Kansas City.
When we're done recording, though, I'd like to make an alternative way.
Okay.
That was for Cannon.
Fair enough. Atlanta off to a horrible start on the road to Pittsburgh, who's also off to a bad start.
Atlanta's 1-3, aren't they?
And Pittsburgh's 1-2-1.
1-2-1. Pittsburgh at home. They have so much drama surrounding them, but I think they get it done.
Le'Veon is coming back. He says week 7 during the bye.
7,
We'll
yeah.
see.
Who knows? Who knows if he's in shape? They could still trade him. That's what they said.
Watch out for the Colts if that happens.
I don't even want to pick this game.
Yeah, it's trash.
Probably, I'm gonna go with Steelers.
I'll go Falcons just because I don't like Steelers.
Falcons. Yeah, I don't like the terrible towel.
Speaking of two teams I don't like, the Raiders are at the Chargers. Chargers 5.5-point favorites.
Chargers about lost C.J. Beathard yesterday, though. They've kind of disappointed a little bit. Are they 2-2?
They are 2-2.
Give me Chargers, though. I don't like John Gruden.
I don't either.
Chucky in a $100 million contract. They're gonna have to be eating that for a while.
Idiots.
They're looking for a pass rusher, right? Because they traded the best one in the NFL, or second best one. And
second.
Yeah, debatable. That's why I said that both. But I'm definitely going Chargers.
Yeah, I'll take the Chargers. The Chargers do need to start playing better. They've had a lot of injuries like they do every year, but Oakland got lucky yesterday.
Chargers.
Vikings at Eagles. Eagles 3-point favorite.
Give me Eagles. Vikings struggling.
I know.
Yeah. I'm going to go with the Eagles as well, coming off the loss and back home. But they didn't look good against the Colts either.
No, I don't think Wentz isn't.
You had a laundry-filled drive to beat the Colts.
Yeah.
I mean, they pulled every flag they could out. But I am not sold. Well, you're seeing it with your team, the Broncos.
Yeah.
Put a new quarterback on a team. It takes a while to mesh.
New
Cousins just doesn't look comfortable at all. And the offensive line there's terrible. But Eagles.
I like the Eagles at home. That's a rematch from the NFC Championship game.
Eagles.
Cardinals at the Niners. Niners are 4.5-point favorites. That kind of surprises me. It's that high.
Cardinals could have won yesterday against Seahawks, but they didn't. Josh Rosen looked fairly good.
Right move to put them in. They're not going anywhere.
Give me San Francisco.
I'll take the home squad, the Niners.
I like the Niners.
I'll take the Cardinals, just to be different.
All right. I like it. Switching it up. Best team in football, in my opinion, the LA Rams travel to the Seattle Seahawks, who let one of their old veteran defenders play yesterday.
Earl Thomas
breaks his leg, or did something to his leg, and gave his team the middle finger.
On the way out.
He wanted a new contract.
He flew the Seahawk as he left, is what I read.
Right at Pete, and Pete tried to downplay it today. Good old Petey boy. Yeah. Seahawks are done.
They screwed him over. The Legion of Boom really
done.
Ended a few years ago. Rams go in there, put up 40.
Oh, yeah, I will not bet against the Rams.
Rams
by far the best squad in the NFL.
Rams.
Jeff Goff just keeps getting better and better. Jeff.
Who's Jeff?
I don't know.
He's the future of the NFL.
Yeah. Sunday night games, in-state Dallas, Lone Star State game. Cowboys at Texans.
Give me Texans just because they're at home. I don't like Dallas.
Oh man, yeah. I'm probably gonna go. I'm gonna probably take Cowboys. Texans are not good.
I'm still taking the Texans. I don't think Dak's as good as advertised.
No. Cowboys for sure.
In the Monday night game to wrap it up, Washington at New Orleans. New Orleans 6.5-point favorite.
Give me New Orleans big.
I think the Saints have got their early season struggles so far figured out. Drew's heating up. Mike Thomas is a stud.
I'll be the best wide receiver in the NFL.
He is the best wide receiver in the NFL. And I'm going to go with the Saints.
I like the Saints. And then tonight's game, Chiefs at Broncos. I think Chiefs are 4-point favorites.
What's the over-under on that one?
Oh, Lord.
Chiefs put up points. They also give up points.
The Broncos so far this year are giving up points. If the Broncos don't come out sharp and their defensive backs aren't ready, the Chiefs might hang 50 on them. Over and under is 53.5.
Whoa, for an NFL game, that's a big number.
3.5-point
I'd go over.
line.
I think it'll be a close game, but I think Chiefs score too many points, 31-27 Chiefs.
I'm going to go with the Chiefs as well.
I honestly was ready to pick the Chiefs until yesterday, and I keep talking myself into the Broncos. 31-28 Broncos. They have to have it. If they don't get this one, it's probably going to be another long season already.
I'm going to go with the Chiefs. I hate to do that to you,
all right,
especially in this orange room.
In the Broncos.
In this orange room, it feels bad saying that.
So, all right. Hit us up with the Birdie Bogey, Josh.
One thing we always forget.
Oh, yeah.
The J-Man's Bucket Prediction of the Week is sponsored by Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance Agent Travis Watchering.
Watchering with Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance. I'm a multi-line agent specializing in life, home, renters, auto, business insurance, workers' compensation, and farm insurance. Please contact me at travis.watchering@infb.com or 219-869-4561. And my business Twitter is @TTW_IFBI.
What a guy.
What a guy. So, Birdie Bogey, David Wright's career ended on Saturday? I don't know. But he is the 5th third baseman in baseball history with at least 200 homers and 150 steals in his career. Named the last third baseman to do that. He's a Hall of Famer.
If I can have Joe, there's two on my mind, but I need Joe's guess to get them. The first one guy comes to my mind is Chipper Jones.
The old Atlanta Brave.
Oh, absolutely. And if it's not him, then it's a guy for the Phillies.
So why do you need my guess?
Because you didn't know it.
I don't know it. I have no idea.
I'm struggling right now thinking of
Chipper Jones is probably a pretty good guess.
Well, then you guess Chipper. I'm going to take Mike Schmidt.
All right, yeah.
Mike Schmidt. I was like, who's the Phillies third baseman? See, that's way before I was thinking. Oh, God.
But he said the last one, and Chipper, obviously.
Yeah,
That's getting back there.
But it's too obvious, isn't it?
3 of these guys are Hall of Fame. 3 of the other 4 are Hall of Famers.
I can't even think of...
Howard Johnson's the one that's not.
Okay, I can't even think of another Hall of Fame third baseman.
Well, George Brett.
Yeah, see, I'm not thinking far enough back.
I'm the old man of this group,
Yeah,
man.
Yeah, you are.
I'm the geezer. I just figured it out.
Sure.
Chipper is correct.
George Brett, Mike Schmidt.
Whoa!
This guy knows his baseball.
Yeah, we know what Kyle does in his free time.
Good call.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you said the last one, though. I mean, Chipper, obviously, I don't care if you were a Braves fan or not. Chipper Jones is the man.
He was a star.
He's the man.
Greatest switch hitter ever.
But yeah, I mean, obviously I was a little kid, but you're talking Brett, which everyone's seen that clip with the old pie tart.
Oh, yeah.
Fiery.
Because you came up with that guess, you're going to find this hard to believe, but I actually have a Chipper Jones jersey at my house.
Sweet.
I will take a picture of it tonight.
All right, another Birdie Bogey. Name what's his real name?
I don't remember.
Larry. Yeah.
Larry, yeah.
I knew it was something like.
I'm bringing something to the group.
You brought a lot.
You might have a permanent spot. You might have a permanent spot here.
I think that's going to wrap it up for episode 98 of the Tan and J-Man Show. Thank you, Kyle McLochlin. Thank you, Joe Murphy, for joining us. It's been a good time. Good luck in the upcoming debate and the election. Like I said, we're going to have plenty of content and coverage promoting these guys on our social media feeds, which you can like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter at Tan and J-Man Show, follow us on Instagram at the Tan and J-Man Show. You can listen to our podcast on SoundCloud, iTunes, TuneIn Radio, Google Play. Check out our website, tanandjmanshow.com, YouTube channel. We're everywhere. So
thank you.
You're welcome. And until next week, have a good week, everybody.
Go Irish.